Whether you are a budget cruise ship fan or you like to pull out all the stops on the high seas, Phil Reimer has a ship in mind for you. A cruise vacation to please and tease you. Reimer is best known in this town as Mr. Weather Forecaster. He was once a sportscaster, entertainment and TV producer. Today he makes part of his living writing about cruise ships and their people. It is my pleasure to welcome Phil Reimer to Studio 4 to tell us more. Hi, friend.
Hi, how are you? So nice. This is fun hanging out with you for
I know.
the
We've
morning.
known each other for umpteen years.
Yeah, we won't say how many decades, will we?
No, we won't. No, because I know you're having a birthday soon, and we
I
won't
had
say
it.
which one.
I
You had it?
Yeah.
Well, happy
Yeah,
birthday.
I kept it very quiet.
It had an O on the end.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, we'll stop there.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you remember your first cruise ship experience?
You know
Did
what?
you fall in love with cruising early?
I think it was about, I was working at CBC Television, and my children had got tired of me talking about vacations and never taking one. So I phoned a friend of mine at, I believe it was Princess Cruises, and I said, hey, you got anything at Christmas? Oh, Christmas is full. And he said, get on a plane. We got 3 ships leaving out of Florida on the same weekend. Chances are I'll get you on. So I went blind down. Turns out a massive storm. The ship could only get to San Juan. So flew to San Juan to catch the ship. Now we're waiting for the storm. And the one thing I remember about San Juan is a bunch of us went up the hill. We went into a bar, and one of the people said, could we have a rum tasting contest? The man said, of course. And he set up little jiggers of rum, and we made it back to the ship for the midnight departure.
Okay, so rum started
But that was
it.
in the 90s, yes.
Rum started it. Now,
Yeah.
now I know you're rum free.
Yes,
You
that's
don't
right.
drink at all.
Yeah.
But on those cruise ships, they certainly enjoy drinking and eating.
Yeah.
What's changed in the business since
I think
you
what's changed-
started?
I think what's changed, all of a sudden the families are a big part of cruising. Royal Caribbean and Disney has known that for a long time. Royal Caribbean went and built the biggest cruise ship in the world, 6,000 passengers.
Yeah.
And they loaded it with 30,000 square feet of children's space, from 6 months old to teenagers. Teenagers have their own nightclub in the ships. Adults can't go in by age category. And so a lot of the areas for families, and they're smart enough to know that if mom and dad are bringing the kids and the teens, maybe grandpa and grandpa will want to come, and then uncle and aunt. And all of a sudden that 4-person sail becomes a 12-person sail.
How great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm that kind of parent.
Good.
You know, get on the ship, make sure the kids are fine,
Yes.
go away.
That's exactly
I'll
right.
see you, at bedtime, maybe, and maybe not.
I'm taking all the grandkids in July. I expect to see them for breakfast, dinner, and if we're on an island, but outside of that, I don't expect to see much
Exactly.
of them.
Maureen Holloway, who's always on with Bro Jake in the morning,
Yes.
she said this morning, I just watered my children. They grew up, I just watered them. Okay, so let's go to the Oceana Marina.
Yes, we launched this with Mary Hart of Entertainment Tonight, who's the godmother of
You
this
name
ship.
dropper, you.
Well, you know what? I found out why she's been on the air for so long. The crew love her.
sure.
You know, when she's asked to do a second or third or fourth take, no problem. Let's do it. But I did meet Jacques Pepin, who is the and this is, by the way, these are beds. They call them mattress loungers around the pool. So
Stop.
yeah,
Those are a lot
very
fancier
comfortable.
than
very,
I expected.
Yes. And those are mattress loungers. That's the pool in the background. But I did get to meet Jacques
Is the
Pepin.
pool crowded? She asks.
Not a marina, because it's only a 1,200 passenger ship. It is crowded on ships like Allure and Oasis. I mean, 6,000 people all fighting for loungers.
I know,
Yes,
and they're all from
it's-
Chicago.
Yeah, that's
Did you notice?
exactly right.
They're
Well,
all from
10% are
Chicago.
Canadians, 10%
okay,
are Canadians.
10% are Canadians. So on the Oceana Marina, only 1,200 passengers.
and a choice of 4 restaurants. So you have Jacques after
Jacques
Mr.
Pepin?
Pan, yes, and several other restaurants on board. The Polo Grill, the Red Ginger. Red Ginger was my favorite restaurant on the ship. And so they launched it. And Pepin is really the executive consulting chef for the cruise line. And that was his
great.
restaurant. And when he walked in, he said, I thought it would be much bigger. He said, they've made it intimate. I am so happy.
How
Were his
lovely.
words.
So do you have to go to dinner at a certain time? Can you
No.
filter in when
No,
you filter in,
those
that
days
type
are
of
gone.
thing? Those
there
days
are
are
still
gone.
fixed dinner times, but they have what they call freestyle time, and NCL started this. and freestyle dining, which means you go when you want. But now all the other lines have fixed times, but they have freestyle times in between.
And if Jacques Pepin is frying my egg, I think I like that. Okay,
right.
I doubt he fries the egg,
No,
but at least he consults.
He comes aboard and looks.
Exactly.
By the way, on that ship, a culinary kitchen, so you can go and cook. 24 burners and sinks, and you can learn to cook while
How
you're at
great.
sea.
So you go to cooking school, you can learn a lot at
Yes.
sea, and they're bringing
Yeah.
professors and philosophers and
Celebrity has
celebrities. I
Mac.
wonder when that's happening for me, that celebrity trip.
Celebrity has Mac, and you could take lessons on your Mac and learn how
Right.
to do that as well.
Okay, so Allure of the Seas. We don't have much time,
I
so
know,
I'm hurrying.
I know.
Allure of the
6,000
Seas.
passengers. Has
6,000?
Has a
What?
Starbucks right in the middle of the ship.
No,
Yeah.
6,000
And-
passengers?
Yes.
Are there
And-
balconies?
Yes. About 90% is balconies.
Well, I read the restaurant. I probably read it in your column. The restaurant is 3 stories.
Yes, 3 stories high. But they have nooks and crannies in it, wines and moves, so
gosh.
you can get by yourself.
And they have
And they have 4 gardeners on board, and that's the inside of the ship. You're looking down on what's called Coney Island. And here's the park, 12,000 plants, 57 trees.
My gosh. So you forget you're at sea. You
Yeah.
must. And they have good stabilizers, I'm
Yes,
sure,
and
so
the
that
ship
you're
is
not
4
seasick.
football fields long and a football field wide.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Doctors, nurses,
Yeah, 22 restaurants.
spas. What?
22 restaurants.
You'd forget you were at sea.
This is the first ship that the ship is the destination, not the island.
No
the
kidding.
ship is the destination.
You know, some people live on ships. There's
I
that
know.
ship
There's
that they live on.
one lady on Princess. I think 300 days a year she lives on the ship.
I know, and you retire. You just retire
Yeah.
to the ship. And then you
Yeah.
never have to pack and unpack, and it's all good, and you can decorate your own room, I'm
Yeah.
sure. I love that. So, yeah?
This ship's not for everybody. You know,
I'm
I want
sure
to
not.
say that it's for families and maybe teens. But if you want quiet, you want a smaller ship, less
Right.
adults. And cruise lines like Holland America and Celebrity, they're more adult. Of the big cruise lines, they're more
Okay.
adult oriented.
No, I'm going on the Oceana. I've got it.
You got it? Okay.
I've got it. I'm not on the 6,000 people
Or the
ship.
Azamara Journey, 686.
686, that's all?
Yep.
686.
Yeah.
Well,
You might like that too.
I would like that too because I suspect they're not poor.
No.
I suspect it's out of my budget.
If you pick the right time of year and sales,
Really?
I brought you one today, 14 days from Fort Lauderdale or San Juan to Europe, 5 or 6 stops, starting price $509
What?
for 14
From
days.
San Juan to Europe?
To Europe. $40 a day for your room, your meals, and entertainment.
And are you on the very bottom with one little porthole going inside?
But if you want a balcony, only $1,179.
Really? $1,179.
Yeah, repositioning cruises are
Okay.
inexpensive, and it's a chance to see Europe. Think of cruising as an appetizer. I do.
Right.
I see the ports that I like, and then I go
Mm-hmm.
back and I visit. As I'm going to Venice very shortly because I loved it as
Right.
a port. Now I'm going to spend 4 days.
No,
there.
I totally get that. I was in the Caribbean, and you get off, you think, I'm staying in St. John's. I don't know. You get back on the ship. I
That's
like
right.
it here.
That's right.
And it's all good. So that's a good price. And is that that's not airfare?
No,
that isn't
not
it. You have
ever
to,
included.
you have
And
to
you
get
know
there.
what? I found it at 3 o'clock yesterday. It may be gone
It's
by
probably
today.
gone.
you know.
It's likely gone. So what about the Disney Dream, the launch in Florida?
Yeah, I went to the launch of that. Jennifer Hudson's the godmother on that ship,
Really?
dropping names like crazy.
Yeah, as you
but
should.
she was a singer on one of the Disney ships. That's how she got started.
Jennifer Hudson?
Jennifer Hudson was a singer on one of the Disney ships. She was the godmother. Now they have something unique, and it's a water coaster that goes around the entire top of the ship. And there's a good look at it there. It winds around the entire top. You ride in a kind of a rubber dinghy,
Right.
and the water powers you around the outside of the ship. And look at that loop. You're right around outside over the
How much
ocean when you
fun.
go by.
And you can be 80 and do that, or you can be 8, right?
I
or
was,
do they?
I was in the line.
You were in the
Yeah,
line?
yeah.
How much fun that is. You just hope your little boat doesn't fall off.
Well, you know what? It's in a tube. It's in an acrylic tube.
Oh, good. It would have to be.
Yes.
Because can you imagine shooting off into the ocean? No.
What a story, though.
What a story. What a death.
Yeah.
Right? How did he
How
die?
did he die?
He flew off the top of Disneyland.
That's right.
Oh my.
The Disney ship, by the way, I think it's for smaller kids, but there are
Sure.
5 nightclubs for adults on board.
Oh, that's good.
Including a dancing
Okay, the
nightclub.
kids are in the tube.
Yeah.
You're drinking.
Yes.
Or gambling.
That's exciting. They're going around and around.
What a good parent we have become. How nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. We'll be reading you in the paper. How many times do you write?
I'm in the paper
When
every
you feel
Saturday,
like
but
it?
portsandbows.com every day.
Okay, so you're blogging.
Blogging every day.
You're blogging.
Yeah.
Okay, and one time.
Saturday in the sun.
Let's shoot another movie or something one day.
Hey.
Okay.
You were a star of a cruise movie.
I remember. Don't tell. Okay.